Hello, what's up guys? Welcome to the 17th tutorial in the series, The Basics of Programming with Python. Today we're going to be talking about handling exceptions in Python. So let's get into it. Boom. Okay, so I already created a function here which basically divides by getting an argument from the user and then asks you what you want to divide with, and then divides with what you gave it to divide with. So basically we can do this easily, but I just wanted to use this function so I can explain more things to you. So now I'm going to run the function and see. We're going to do divide, let's say 5. So save that and run it. Okay, so 1 divide 5 with 3, we get 1.6 from this print statement. So now let's try with 0. So if you run it with 0, you see we get a 0 division error. Errors in Python can be classified into 3. We have the compile time error, we have the logical error, and then we also have the runtime error. So the compile time error is the error you get from syntax, wrong syntax, and spellings, or some things that don't make your code even run at all. For example, if I put something here s, that doesn't make any meaning. So this is a compile time error. While logical error is the error you get when you don't get your desired results. Example, you're expecting to get 5 and getting 3, so that's the logical error. That means it's most likely to be on your hand. While the runtime error is the error you get during your code. So this is an example of a runtime error we got during our code, and whenever we get an error like this, it just stops our code. So let me show you something. If you try printing here done, we're gonna print done, and then we'll run it again. So give it 5 4. So wait, hold on. Okay, oh sorry about that, 0 divided by 4. Let's change it back to let's change it to 4, and then we're gonna put 3 round. We're gonna run it again, and then we're gonna put 0. You see it's in printed done over here, and then we're gonna put 0 in here, and you see we get division error, 0 division error without printing this. So this is a runtime error. It interrupts our code. Okay, so how do we handle this error? Basically the way you handle it is by using the try except block. So we have the try except block and then the finally. So this is how you write it. You write it with the try and then your colon, then an indented a block of code here where you put in your code. So we're putting this here. Okay, and then we'll come down and put except. So this is where you do it, and then whatever you want to run if any error occurs. So let's put this print down here. So whatever happens, we want to print done. Okay, and then so we're gonna run this and save it. So we're gonna save it and run it. Then we'll put 0 here. So even when we got 0 division error, you see we didn't get the error anymore. It's in just printed done straight away. So there are different ways you can handle exceptions. From my experience, I would say this is not a good way to handle exceptions. It's better you specify type of exception, and the way you do that is by passing the exception type. As you can see, Python highlights it. So if you do except exception, then Python gets this because most of the extensions, the exceptions in Python inherits from this exception here you are saying. So if I do except exception, whatever exception it gives us, it's gonna Python is gonna handle it. So I'm gonna show you under exception in here. We're gonna do divide. Just want to show you something. So we'll run this twice. Let me comment, or let's leave it that way. So I'm going to remove this int. No, I told you in our video when we talked about the input statement that input statements always return strings. So here we'll try dividing y, which is 4, by string. So we'll run that. Okay, so we'll put 5, and then it says type error, unsupported type, so now this is also an error type, a runtime error, and then I'm gonna teach you how to undo those errors in this code. Okay, so I'm gonna clear this, and except exception, then we can get the type of exception it is as e. Now we'll print done, then print error is comma e. So this will if any error occurs here, this is gonna ignore this, which is just gonna skip whatever is after this. We're gonna print no errors. So it's gonna skip whatever. Once the error occurs, it's gonna skip whatever is here and then jump into it immediately. So we're gonna save it and then we're gonna run it. Okay, so 1 divide with 0, whatever number I give it, it's gonna show you this error. because we can't divide an integer with a string basically. Okay, so the error is, then the type of the error here, e, this is the e here, the error is unsupported operand, so which is the type error. Okay, now the best way to handle exceptions is by handling it specifically by providing the exact exception Python gives you. So I'm going to show you where you can do this. As you seen, we got zero division error here. I'm going to change this back to int so we don't get the error. Int. So I'm going to do except. I'm going to delete all this. Okay, so let's just copy this from here, then we're going to paste it here. So except zero division error, as you can see, Python highlights it, then it prints this. So this is going to handle only zero division error, unlike the other one we did, which was going to handle both zero division error and type error. So I didn't show you that earlier on, so let me change this back. So you can see that this one also handles all exception. So if I should run this and then I put 0, it handles zero division error, as you can see, but and as well it also handles type error. Okay, just want to show you so you know that this exception type, as you can see, type error as well. So this exception type handles all types of error, because a lot of exceptions inherit from it basically. Okay, though it also inherits from other exceptions, but you don't need to worry about that. Okay, so now as I said, we're going to change it to zero division error. Zero division error. We'll save that, and then the error is so. Now we're going to save this and run it. Okay, so we're going to try 4. As you can see, unsupported operand type this, because our code in handle error because we provided zero division error here. So the way we can do that, of course, we want our code to always print done at the end of the code, so we're going to put it down here. Okay, so we're going to come here, and then we're going to do except again, except type error. Oh my goodness. Then print you can't divide with a string type. Okay, then instead of printing the error here, we're gonna print. Okay, so of course you can't use that e, you can't use this e here if you don't pass it in here with the exception type. So we're gonna cancel that, and then we're gonna do you can't. So I might skip this part of the video when I'm typing. You can't divide by 0. Okay, so we're done with that. I guess I didn't skip that. Okay, so we're gonna run this, and then we're gonna save it and run it. So if you give it 4 here, which is still a string, you can't divide with a string type. Now let's put back our hints back here. Okay, and we're gonna run that, and then we're gonna give it 4. It works well, no errors. As you can see, it prints this no errors, and then done at the end. Then we're gonna run it this time around, and we're gonna give it a string, and this is gonna give us a value error. As you can see, we get value error down here. So we can also add the exception, except value error. Then we're gonna print can't divide with string type, or with the string type. So we're gonna save that, and then we're gonna run it. So now we handle every possible exception. We're gonna do 44, that works well. We're gonna do, okay, we're gonna do 0, that handles it perfectly. We're gonna give it a string, that works well, and then we're gonna give it, okay, of course we don't want to remove this int. Now, so in case any other error occurs, to be able to run any code, whatever happens, use the finally. So the finally runs the code, whatever happens. Of course we don't need it here, but I just want to show you. Then we're gonna run this, whatever happens, the finally will always run your code. Okay, so we're gonna do SDF, of course that's an error, and then you can see it prints done even after an exception. So whatever happens, it's still gonna come here and then print done. Okay, so that's it with handling exceptions with Python. Okay, and of course you can also handle the exceptions in here, where you try here, and then you do this print, and then you do except exception to handle all exception type. Then we print E. So save that and then we'll run it. So even if you pass 0, we add the exception in here, which means it's not going to come down here. So it just prints 0 division error from what we printed in there, and then prints no errors. Though we have this no division error here, it doesn't print it because there's only the exception here and thinks the code is working fine down here, and goes to finally. So that's with Python for today, handling exceptions. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out, guys.